Guys, I want to specifically talk about the Mordekaiser boycott was or is a stupid idea. Now we have a false prophet among us, and the weird thing is he also got 11 upvotes, while also notably he did get agreed on in the comment sections. Totally agree with you, especially since I find the champion boycotts in general are cringe and annoying. What? Champion boycotts are quite important because more than often there are just like champions that are not on Riot Games radar, such as Mordekaiser, Vel'Koz. Now the recent Vel'Koz boycott was really great because he got a really good PB change on his insanely good changes, read them out if you want to, and currently a passive buff which is also decent, right? Combined with the next buff of course. And so let's read this post. Mordekaiser is perfectly fine champion by any means. Is this guy just convincing himself Mordekaiser is a good champion? I'm genuine when I say this. And he's really... and he really kinda doesn't need any changes. Is he gaslighting himself? To be honest, this is my hot take. But I want I want to feel you guys in on where I'm coming from. Okay, let's listen. Let's not be judgmental, don't be judgmental in the comment section, okay guys? I have now played Mordekaiser on and off around for 4 years. But you played it for 4 years! So definitely you should know why the champion sucks as then. Post rework and after rework, right? And so one thing that I have to point out, around Emerald Elo, Mordekaiser has always been a good stat check fairly early to mid-game champion. The thing is, Mordekaiser is kinda dog shit in mid-game if you don't have an advantage, or depending on the enemy comp if you can even play into them, because that's how shit Mordekaiser is. Now let's say fair, in Emerald, Mordekaiser may still have some validity, but the higher and higher you go up, the progressively more and more dog shit the champion becomes, just because the more champions Riot Games releases, the more counterplay often there is to like Mordekaiser's ults, such as Yone can get out of it, Asante. There are plenty of dashes and mobility to just dodge his skill shots, right? So it's not only about unstoppable ultimates, a lot it has to do about champions that can just deal with his kit, especially when he ults in, right? So a lot it has to do about the fact that this champion did not age well. I think maybe years ago he did get a buff, I don't even know when. I actually don't even know when. Let's see it furthermore. Mordekaiser has always a good chat. We already read this. Everything about Mordekaiser is telegraphed and it's pretty easy to decipher where his weaknesses lies. Yes! You answered your own question, why the champion needs a boycotting. With his sticking potential as Juggernaut, Mordekaiser is undoubtedly a strong champion in the lower ranks. Yep, that's it. But literally you could play like so many champions, and if you know how to play them, they can be strong in low elo. Even if you play a skilled champion, it can be strong in low elo, because you can outskill people, right? So it's like, I think it's always a weird argument, but fair, you know? Like, I could say that to many champions, honestly, like Nasus is super strong as well in low elo, right? But fine, I guess, whatever, let's move on. Where the majority of people are playing the game, alright? Yeah, but the thing is, even in like mid ranks, Mordekaiser can feel to be unfun due to his weaknesses, right? Riot needs to take all ranks in consideration, so I'm balancing a champion, and Mordekaiser is not made for high elo simply. This is just the reality. Now the thing is, Mordekaiser was played in the past in high elo before the reworks. He felt to be so great to the point where he was even played in pro play, because he could actually summon the Drake itself. That's it. That's it, right? In the past, Mordekaiser used to be different. Mordekaiser is not made for high elo simply, this is just the reality. There are certain champions which work better in low elo, like Mordekaiser, Dr. Mundo, Nafiri. But that's the thing. Say you get to pick them in low elo, but they are not that insane in low elo once people realize in low elo how to play around Mordekaiser. So the more time passes, the more likely even that low elo player gonna figure it out. Oh shit, maybe QSS counters Mordekaiser. Oh shit, maybe I can press a Fiora W. So it even in low elo, it certainly works like in silver, but it feels like the more and more you rank up with the champion, it gets progressively worse even in lower ranks, like people just if they get pissed off enough by Mordekaisers, eventually they gonna figure out his weakness. Even though like lots of people that say they don't know how to play around his pokes or they don't know how to play around his ult, right? But eventually people will realize it even in lower ranks. I feel like so it kind of works because it's like people are just bad, but I just don't think so that that's how like really a champion should be balanced because it works because people are bad, you know. As well as there are champions that work well in high elo, post mini rework percentages and so on. They are simple to they are simple to pick up and learn. They are also simpler to learn how to counter. But that's the thing. Eventually everyone will become high elo with Mordekaiser. The progressively more and more you play. That's what I'm thinking of. And after a certain period of time it's gonna feel like that this champion is progressively worse and worse and worse. That's how it will feel like. So when you're continuously playing a champion and you don't wanna drop it because that's your main champion, but it feels to be like pure shit once you're high elo. The reward of high elo when you main a champion like Mordekaiser shouldn't be that my champion is not viable anymore. So maybe in some interesting ways they could buff his high elo potential, which probably could mess with its low elo strength in some sense. That's true. They're also simpler to learn and how to counter. It's fine to have simple champions that don't perform as well in high elo. Players need to learn that. You can comfortably get to masters without tricking a champion. Probably you can do that with probably you can do that with Mordekaiser, right? But part of being a good player is team comps and counters. Being flexible in your picks is a skill as well. If you want to one trick, you should just acknowledge that you are giving you that opportunity up and will suffer because of it. It makes some sense what he's saying, that there are simple champions that more than often belong in low elo, but I don't think so that's really a fair logic to go after, just because there are some champions that are good in low elo yet they can be still highly viable in high elo. Now why are some specific champions that only work well in low elo? More than often because like Mordekaiser could get a rework, not even a buff or an adjustment, just simply a rework action, and that's what I'm thinking of. Probably he could be buffed in creative ways as well to maintain him in higher ranks, but more so rework. Oh, I knocked my camera off. My bad. But more so, a lot it has to do about once you rank up, you know. Eventually, like everyone wants to rank up when you guys are playing Mordekaiser in rank. And I know I'm repetitive and I said it before, but it just won't feel to be great that the reward of ranking up is that your champion just doesn't feel to be good in higher ranks anymore, right? Now, arguably you could drop it and play a different champion, but that doesn't always align with everyone. I mean, gold fair enough, hard stack, but I legit never lose lane and I play a bit more the character, it's kinda hard to lose lane. And he is a powerhouse in my person and I feel him strong in my skills, but yeah, Bane is annoying in lower ranks, right? Side Bane dodges everyone's skill in my high just more that but yeah, I can kinda agree with that. That's what I was thinking of. Mordekaiser often I would think of a passive buff on Mordekaiser, honestly, or something. Boycott is stupid, thinking more is fine, and now is stupid. I can agree with you with this one, I can disagree with you on this one. Mordekaiser is famous low skill noob, some power that excels in will barely at 50% and bronze silver. That's what I'm thinking of as well. Like, there are so many counter champions released, I'm not sure. Like, people have to be bad in, like, people don't know the matchup, I feel like. That's why they're sucking against Mordekaiser. It's not necessarily because Mordekaiser is just so passive. I feel like people just don't know the specifics of the matchup, you know? I don't agree with any boycotts. What? Yeah, that's why I said Silas, Rumble and so on are just better champions. Yeah, so he definitely has issues. I agree the boycott is kinda foolish. Are these guys gaslighting themselves? I'm genuine. I'm actually genuine. Are people gaslighting themselves in r/Mordekaiser mains? Because this seems to be very weird when the champion is just so shit that everyone is like, oh no, the champion is good. The champion is good. The champion is good. Because even though it would be strong in low elo, let's say hypothetically, there are already champions that are strong in low elo, like Nasus, Mastery, they can be oppressive when they are fed. So it wouldn't be a big deal if Mordekaiser would be a bit oppressive in lower ranks, while he's viable in high elo. That's what I'm thinking of. Because there is Katarina, there are so many oppressive, like low elo champs, it's unreal, right? Or anything can be oppressive once you master a champion in lower ranks, right? If I'm thinking about it. So I think it wouldn't be a bad trade-off that Mordekaiser has more oppression in lower ranks, while he's highly more viable in higher ranks, I think. That's what I think of course. I think it's just a bad idea to think of a champion that it's only made for beginners, and once you reach a certain rank it just drops off with validity. Because it feels a bit bad to invest like 500, 1000 games, reach a certain point in the game where where the champion doesn't feel so big good, in my opinion. But that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.